Every church has secrets. This one hides its secrets underground. I went there looking for peace. Instead, I became part of something that never lets people leave. I never meant to stay in that town. It was supposed to be temporary, just a quiet place to clear my mind after everything fell apart. But the moment I saw the church sitting at the end of the dusty road, something inside me shifted. It felt familiar, like I had already been there before, like it had been waiting. The church was warm. People smiled too easily. They greeted me like family, even though they had never seen me before. The choir sang beautifully, perfect harmony, perfect rhythm, but something felt wrong. One voice was missing, and somehow, everyone knew it. The pastor welcomed me personally. He shook my hand and held it a little too long. His eyes searched my face, as if confirming something. "You came," he said softly. "Not welcome, not nice to meet you," he said. Finally, after service, an old woman approached me. Her hands trembled as she grabbed mine, her voice barely a whisper. "Whatever happens, never go into the basement." Before I could ask why, she walked away, and no one else seemed to notice her. A few days later, they asked if I could help clean the church. I wanted to belong, so I agreed. The pastor smiled again. "Start downstairs," he said. Behind the altar stood a heavy iron door. Old, scratched, almost hidden from sight. A cold feeling crawled across my skin. I knew immediately. This was the basement. The janitor watched me closely. A ring of keys hung from his belt. He never let them out of his hand, not for a split second, like he was guarding something alive. That night, while cleaning alone, I heard singing, soft, slow, coming from beneath the floorboards. But the church was empty. I checked every room. No one was there. Yet, the singing continued. During evening prayer, everyone knelt, heads facing down, eyes closed. But no one looked peaceful. They looked afraid, like they were praying to survive. I asked the pastor about the basement. His smile faded. "There is no basement anymore," he said. But I had seen the door, and I knew he was lying. Days later, a hymn book fell from a shelf. A small rusted key slid out. My heart raced. I already knew where it belonged. The iron door opened slowly. A deep breath of cold air escaped. It felt quite alive, like something below had been waiting for someone to return. The stairs went down farther than possible, farther than the church's size allowed. Each step echoed, and behind me, the door shut on its own. Names covered the walls, hundreds of them, carved deep into stone. Some was old while others were fresh, and at the bottom, space left for more. A tape recorder played quietly. Distorted prayers looped endlessly. When I listened closely, the words were backwards. Photographs covered a wall. Choir members, smiling faces. Every single photo stamped. Me sing. The empty choir spot suddenly made sense. Candles burned everywhere. Dozens, hundreds, but none of them melted. The flames didn't flicker. They watched me. A sharp, scratching sound echoed behind the wall. Slow, dreadful. Something was trying to get out. Or maybe trying to get in. A shadow moved at the end of the corridor. Too tall and too still. Was faceless. Yet, I felt its eyes on me. On a stone table lay a book titled, Those Who Were Offered. I opened it. Every 10 years, a name was chosen. Every 10 years, someone disappeared. You shouldn't have come alone. The pastor stood behind me. Come. Expected. Like this moment had always been planned. He told me the church was built on something ancient, something hungry. It protected the town, but there was a price to pay. Then suddenly, the walls pulsed. The floor breathed beneath my feet. The church wasn't a building. It was a body. And we were inside it. You were chosen before you were born, he said. My name appeared at the end of the book. Already written, already decided. I got scared. I ran toward the stairs and towards the basement, but they twisted, turned, led me back to the same room. Over and over again. The old woman from church appeared, stronger. I tried to leave too, she said. Her eyes held decades of fear. She showed me her name carved into the wall. She had been chosen long ago. No one escaped. They only changed roles. Voices filled the basement, the missing choir singing again. Then, suddenly, invisible bodies surrounded me. The pastor raised his hands. The church must feed. The walls closed in, breathing faster and even hungrier. It didn't want my body. It wanted my memories, my fears, my life, everything I was. The singing grew louder. I felt pieces of myself slipping away. Childhood memories. People I've known, names, all fading away. The voices welcomed me. Pain turned into calm. Fear turned into belonging. I wasn't alone anymore. I was inside the choir. The basement went quiet. The pastor smiled gently. It is done. Sunday service continued upstairs, peaceful, normal, perfect. A young girl entered the church doors, nervous, lost, exactly like I once was. She looked around. Her eyes paused at the choir, at the empty space, the space that used to be mine. The old woman approached her, grabbed her hand, whispered softly, "Never go into the basement." The choir began singing, this time around. My voice was part of the harmony. The building breathed, slowly, patiently, waiting for the next offering. Because some churches don't save souls. They keep them forever. The end.